I hate snakes. It's the Indiana Jones Droopy Dog Gamer Special Edition. Roll the credits! Hi and welcome to the Droopy Dog Gamer channel. I'm Leighton. If you like our content, please remember to hit like and subscribe. It's what helps makes the channel grow. Today we're discussing the announcement of the brand new Indiana Jones game by Lucasfilm Games and Bethesda. Now, details are a little sketchy at the moment, but apparently it's a whole new adventure set in the peak of Indiana Jones's career. So I presume he would have been around sort of 40 years old, somewhere around there. Obviously details are very limited and there's absolutely no footage to show you. So today we're looking at where Indiana Jones first got turned into pixels. It was all the way back in 1982 by Atari. Let's load up the game. Picture the scene, it was 1982. Raiders of the Lost Ark had only just appeared at the cinema 12 months before, back in 1981. Most people hadn't even seen the film. A lot of people still didn't have VHS back in 1982, and the film certainly hadn't appeared on any TV network. The game was designed by a man called Howard Scott Warshaw, and it was considered quite ahead of its time. It was one of the very first games to have an inventory system. You had to collect things, move around from screen to screen, which was quite a thing back then. Most games were still single screen. Let's see if the graphics can match up to that wonderful box art. Yeah. This was what being a kid in the 80s was like if you played video games. You went in the shop, you saw that glorious artwork, you couldn't wait to get home, and this was what you were faced with. Well, at least I can tell it's indie from the hat. Is that a whip? Yeah, I've got the whip now. You can see the inventory system at the bottom. I've got my whip. No, that's a snake. I'm presuming that's a snake. Let's go down. I think that's a rock. The problem with the game was you couldn't tell what things were. It was a point and click adventure, and unfortunately the graphics were so bad you couldn't really tell what was what. And there was no YouTube obviously to tell you anything. You would, and I've been killed by a big floating blob. Yeah, I think we'll try again. I think they're snakes. Are they snakes? Outrun the snakes. How do I use my whip? There's only one button on the Atari controller, but it doesn't seem to. I'm dead. Let's move on. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. It was now 1988. Atari was dead. Everyone that was cool was playing on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Han Solo's twin brother, Indiana Jones, was now one of the most famous heroes on the silver screen. Let's see if this game by Tengen was better than the last outing he had. This is more like it. A great starting screen, Indiana Jones. Proper Indiana Jones 8-bit music. The Temple of Doom. Wave 1, Lives 4. How do you start this game? Clicking the buttons. Okay, right. Off we go. Right, okay. What the hell's happening? What? Okay, right, we're off. We've got the whip. We've got the whip. What? I can walk. I thought it was a platformer, but you can walk through the platforms. The main problem with this game was that everything was looped, so if you go round and round and round, you just come back to the same point. You don't actually kind of go anywhere. Indy, what are you doing? What's he doing? Indy? What? Okay, let's go up the ladder. Whip across there. No, we can't whip. We can't whip on. We have to go through. Whip. Okay. Yep, these controls are fiddly. I can't even climb the ladder. What I mean by fiddly is pretty awful. No, and I'm down again. Just whip the damn thing. We're across. Good. Right, in we go. I've got high hopes now. Oh, there's more of the same. Now we're on. Oh, whoa. We've got to whip these, and we can't get out. We've got to get out before it crashes. Yes, we did. And no, there's absolutely nothing to do. Just avoid the boulders. Next! Now in this next game, at least Indiana Jones is beginning to look like Indiana Jones. This is the 1994 version on the Sega Mega Drive. Published by US Gold. That's not a good start. They published some truly awful games in the 90s. Okay, here we go. Now, US Gold decided to make this as more of an action platformer rather than the point and click adventure games that the previous versions were. Just pure action. Ow! Hit my head. Everything's gone dark. What's happened? You just run into the torch. Just run into the torch, it lights the cave up. Whip sounds good. That sounds cool. Take that. Jumping is really difficult, and oh god, that's gonna hurt. Spikes through the head. I'm fallen. I'm dead. And why, when I die, does it sound like a sick Wookiee from Star Wars? Take that. Yeah. You can't jump. You can crawl. I can crawl, but jump. Yeah. Jumping is really, really difficult on this game. Oh, not again. Oh, this is a really difficult game. It's better. It's a lot better than the other games. I'm quite enjoying this. It's just the jumping. Avoid that. Jump on the rope. Jump on the rope. No! Oh, I've caught it. You got no! Oh, they shooting me. Just dodge the bullets. Ah, there's the Wookiees. And I die and sound like Chewbacca from Star Wars again. Well, it's a better game. It's a lot of fun, that one. But, yeah. Now, of course, we don't know that the brand new game will even come to the PlayStation because Bethesda is now owned by Microsoft Studios. So your guess is as good as mine as to whether it will come to the PlayStation 5. In the meantime, there's a couple of other games we could look at to quench our adventuring thirst. There's the Nathan Drake collection, which is on offer at the moment at $15.99. You get the first 3 instalments, and each game is an absolute classic. There's hours and hours worth of gaming fun in there.
Don't tell me you're buying into all that supernatural nonsense.
You love all this as much as I do.
No.
Nathan, these guys are playing for keeps, yeah? So?
He would go to the ends of the earth for the meat.
Now what do? We jump?
Just don't ask him to.
Shall we?
You get off on all this. Cheating death.
But that's not how it will end. This is how it will end.
I'm sorry.
Sully! We don't get to choose how we start in this life.
Had to try.
Real greatness? It's what you do with the hand you're dealt.
You're a crook, right?
But if Nathan Drake isn't your thing and you want something a little bit easier on the eye, there's always Lara Croft. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is on offer at the moment on the PlayStation Store. It's down from $49.99 right down to £12.49. It's a brilliant adventure, that one.
The carriage held, but just ourselves and immortality. We paused before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible. The cornice in the ground. Since then, 'tis centuries, and yet feels shorter than a day.
By taking the key, you set the apocalypse in motion. This key and the silver box, we can remake the world.
I won't let that happen. No one is safe!
many catastrophes you're doing.
Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me.
Now, if you've enjoyed the content and you want to be kept up to date with the latest gaming news, please remember to click like and subscribe. It's what keeps the channel going. We'll see you next time. Run, Indy! Run!